What to Play presents 15 of the most anticipated PC exclusives coming out next year. Visit our website at whattoplay.com to see the full list of all upcoming PC releases. Link in the description box below. Humankind. Developed by the same minds as the impressive 4X fantasy strategies Endless Legend and Endless Space, Amplitude Studios is taking on human history. Instead of just sticking to one civilization like Sid Meier's Civ, Humankind will allow players to go through 6 different eras from the pages of our own history. There's a lot of potential in this one, considering that strategy titles have become a mainstay genre for PC players. It's nearly releasing this April 2021, and is not afraid to go toe-to-toe with the biggest 4X games on the market, despite its shared similarities. New World. Amazon Studios isn't just limited to delivering packages and giving us the boys. They've been making games recently too. Their previous project, Crucible, was unfortunately cancelled due to low player numbers. With that out of the way, the studio now has the focus to present their biggest project to date. It's an MMORPG that could compete with the big leagues in the genre such as Warcraft and even Final Fantasy XIV if they did this right. It takes players into an unforgiving high fantasy world where the possibilities are endless. There's not a lot of info available so far, but expect more to come before the game comes out this spring 2021. Siberia: The World Before. There seems to be no end to Kate Walker's adventures. The latest from Benoit Sakal's spelunking series takes players to a steampunk world with secrets awaiting to be discovered. The World Before takes the atmospheric gameplay to new heights, with a third-person perspective even more immersive for the high-end computers. Solving puzzles and exploring every nook and cranny in its vibrant settings has always been the series' standout moments, and it's a huge upgrade in this title. It's still a PC exclusive, however, judging from its previous entries, it might appear on consoles soon after its release next year. Witchfire. Combining dark fantasy and first-person shooter, Witchfire feels like they could be best friends with id Software's Doom and Miyazaki's Dark Souls. Developed by the team behind The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and the fast-paced Bulletstorm, it's a narrative-driven adventure with heavy shooter elements. The first trailer was revealed back in 2017, and to this day, there's only a small glimpse on what we know about the game so far, except for its Souls-like mechanics. It's looking pretty promising so far despite the minimal online attention, and according to reports, it's slated for a 2021 release. Darkest Dungeon 2. One of Steam's celebrated roguelike titles comes from Red Hook Studios' gritty take on Lovecraftian horrors. Darkest Dungeon 2 will pave the way to even more terrifying forms of madness that plague these lowly adventurers. This follow-up promises to remain true to the original's core concepts. There's still no hand-holding involved, and players will be kept in the dark from time to time. Their upcoming launch will be an early access preview exclusively on the Epic Games Store next year. While they're keeping many details close to the chest for now, the early access is scheduled sometime in 2021.
Who the hell let you out of the circus?
Shadow Warrior 3. Return to the shoes of Lo Wang in this latest installment of Devolver Digital's over-the-top shooter. As a legendary warrior, stop an overwhelming demon army from taking over the world using a variety of free-running movements and some serious firepower.
It's hammer time.
The gameplay hasn't changed much from its previous titles. Players still slice, dice, and shoot their way to victory. The only difference now is that slaying these abominations comes with style. It's coming to the PC sometime next year. Phasmophobia. One of the biggest hits on Steam this year, and surprisingly, it's a horror game. Phasmophobia's biggest strength is in its early access experiment. The devs are continually supporting it by adding more content in the months to come. This includes new maps and ghost types. The game is all about documenting the paranormal with friends, but the catch is, these specters aren't exactly friendly.
Guys, you left me! Allah salli ala Muhammad! Boy, you guys are piece of... Allah salli ala Muhammad!
Communicate with the entities and perform rituals to lure them out of their realm. It's a fun game to play with friends, and it gets crazier in every passing moment. Anyone can play this game on Steam right now, but its full release is coming out next year.
me out of here. Get me the f out of here. F this here. You f do this shit. F this. F this. Do that shit. I'm out.
Baldur's Gate 3. Larian Studios' acclaimed RPG is gearing for its full release very soon. 3 is turning out to be their biggest release so far. Old and new fans will find its magical world alluring as this new installment will stay faithful to their roots. As usual, Baldur's Gate is a game that came from Dungeons & Dragons. New players might find the mechanics a tad bit intimidating. It's still on Steam's early access and the reviews are looking good so far, which is a good sign now that the game is nearing its launch.
Here, catch. Now that's a lot of damage.
Postal 4. No regrets? There's nothing more outrageous than this comedic first-person shooter from Running with Scissors. Anyone who has ever tried to go deep into the weird games on the PC knows what Postal is. Postal returns to its series' roots and will explore Postal Dude's story even if no one asked. No Regrets is trying to turn up the notch by adding a handful of new weapons, quests, and surprisingly, a co-op multiplayer. The consistency of its raunchiness is what makes the series great. No definite release date yet as the game is still in its alpha stage, but it's expected to come out next year. Corepunk. This fresh MMORPG from Artificial Core borrows concepts from known top-down MMOs such as Diablo and Path of Exile, but introduces their own strength, which is the satisfaction of exploration using Fog of War mechanics. In Corepunk, players are encouraged to scrounge every nook and cranny within its post-apocalyptic world. Like many MMOs, player progression is defined by their own choice, such as engaging in trading with other players or dungeon crawling. PvP is also present, but like the rest of their content, there's not much info yet as the game is still in its alpha stage. However, they're aiming for a release late next year if everything's according to plan. Mount & Blade 2: Bannerlord. We have now reached uncharted territory. First on the list is the elusive Bannerlord. After a series of untimely delays and murky announcements, Bannerlord is finally in early access, but its release date is yet to be revealed. With this early access, players will now see the fruits of what seems to be a decade-long labor. They can finally drop into their medieval playground, but they have to make do with a few bugs along the way. It's the ultimate medieval sandbox RPG where players can enjoy seamless warfare with a boatload of possibilities. It is Bannerlord, and it's getting great reviews so far on its Steam page, but like early access titles, it's too early to celebrate. Star Citizen. The never-ending space combat and trading game from Cloud Imperium is the perfect example of development hell. It has suffered numerous production issues since its expected release date back in 2014. Its full release was delayed to oblivion, causing most of their fanbase to criticize the development team and request for refunds. The good news now is that they found their footing. Just recently, their team shared a massive roadmap that showcased their promises and plans for the future of their project. The game is still in its early access stage, it's playable, and it's hailed as one of the most immersive space sims in the market. As for its full release, maybe next year? Teardown. Another early access title that just recently arrived on Steam. Teardown is the ultimate destructible game where everything can be blown up to pieces. The main objective is to plan a heist using the game's voxel environments and steal prized possessions, be it elaborate or downright primitive. A campaign is available to play in its early access phase, and players can enjoy an escalating story with its interesting set of characters. However, there's more content dropping before the game is going for a full release very soon. Among Trees. Exclusive to the Epic Games Store, this beautiful and cozy title demands little busy work compared to most games right now. Be one with nature and escape the woes of the urban jungle and into a vibrant forest awaiting to be explored. The goal in this game is simple: enjoy the day-to-day activities by cooking food, crafting, and making the cabin extra chill for some introspective moments. It's available now on the Epic Games Store. It is still in its early access stage. There's a ton of content coming before this game gets its major release, hopefully next year. The Outlast Trials. Red Barrel's next chapter to their frightening survival horror enters the multiplayer realm. No longer will players suffer alone with its terrifying creatures. Now they can bring their friends in a series of challenging gauntlets, all in an effort to escape from this sadistic playground. Use every survival instinct possible and strategize the most efficient way to take down the lingering threat. Puzzle solving is also around and it'll test friendships. There's not much details available yet, but it will definitely make players shit their pants once it comes out next year.